Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, this is your boy Big Zeke in the building. I'm also here with my brother Casey. How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's good, good people? Good to be in the building today.
It is good to be in the building today. Despite the weather, despite Philadelphia Eagles winning right now,
Don't be that person.
it's still
Don't be that
Really?
person.
Really?
Don't be that person. We came, we saw, we conquered. With no big names, no fame, no celebrity sponsor.
Listen,
Just the flow in the game that was bonkers.
when his team was on top,
Right.
and he thought they was gonna be, you hear that energy.
And what did I tell you? The Eagles are still gonna win. I've been saying it all season.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
Hey, it's not a football podcast. This is a basketball podcast, and we are going to stick with that. Is your boy Zeke and Kesey here? We are without one today. He's somewhere flying.
Flying home from San Antonio.
It's flying home from San Antonio. So happy trails and safe pastures for my brother that is MIA Dre.
MIA Dre.
That's funny. So Kesey gonna go ahead and get us going with the injury report.
So the Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart is out 1 to 2 weeks with an ankle injury. The Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons, knee soreness is day to day. Kevin Durant is MCL sprain out 4 to 6 weeks. How long he been out already?
He already been out like a couple of weeks.
At least like 3 weeks.
Like 3 or 4 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in like 2 weeks, but
Reevaluated in 2 weeks. Okay. Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, ankle day to day. Also, Christian Woods, thumb, reevaluated in a week. Look rough in Dallas.
it is. It already is, but you know.
The Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby Portis, knee out 2 weeks. The New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson, hamstring out 2 weeks. Dude, every time I turn around, there's something. But he's been out 2 weeks, though, ain't it?
No, it's been like a week. Like a week, I think, at the most. I don't know if it's been that long.
He should almost be ready to come back.
Yeah.
If it ain't still tight.
It's probably still tight. He don't come back from injuries quickly, but it is what it is.
That's it.
That's it. All right. We're gonna move on to a segment I like to call Shoot Around. A Shoot Around where we talk about NBA news, rumors, stuff that's going on, what's hot in these streets. I want to kind of start off with LeBron James is like 136 points away from beating the record, something like that. Something that can be done within a couple weeks. And
it took a lot out of him to get that out of him.
No, you know what? I was thinking about this last night. Watching the game. Well, yesterday, last night watching the games. I see LeBron not necessarily trying to beat this record, but trying to win games. And I think LeBron knows, even if he does beat this, when he does beat this record,
and actually it's not 130 something, he's at 117 because he had another 40-point game last night.
I knew it was at 100 and something, but whatever it was. So but it's getting closer.
We're about 3 games away.
Three? I say about 4.
At the rate he going right now?
4 to 5.
And how mad he was last night?
4 to 5. But either way it goes, it's getting close. But I see LeBron not trying to beat this record, but doing everything in his power to make sure this team is winning. And I think because the West is so wide open, it's one of those. And I respect the energy that he's having lately, because it's not about beating this record; it's about winning. And every loss, you can see him being either he's drained or he's just like, he's battling out there. So it's not one of those things where he kind of like going through the rotation and just, shooting up the three, going through the motions. I mean, and it's one of those things like, okay, I see you, LeBron. So I respect that. Now, I still think they ain't gonna make the playoffs, but I see the energy that he's putting out there, the effort that he's putting out there. So I commend him on that.
I think they'll make the playoff. Play in.
You think they make the play in?
I think they'll make the play in.
If they make the play in, do you think they'll make the playoffs from the play in?
Because it's only like 2 games separating them from the play in right now.
You're right.
All it is like a 4-game winning streak away from being in like 9th or 8th.
Yeah, but everybody else has to lose.
But they are losing though. Everybody's losing, and you ain't talking about some blockbuster teams ahead of them.
You're right.
Talking about the Trailblazers, the Thunder, the Jazz, the Suns is playing horrible right now, and the Mavericks that's right there, only 2 games above them.
And that's what I'm saying. I get that. I'm just like I just feel
and the
like
Warriors
too. I just feel like LeBron is putting more effort into winning, other than trying to get this record.
I agree. I totally agree. I think LeBron James is giving 100%. It's just the team is not built to beat people, I think, like that.
I mean, speaking of that,
or they just haven't found their chemistry yet. That's the biggest thing. Chemistry and injuries are big.
I think it's more injuries than chemistry, because Anthony Davis has been out a while, and he's always out. You can't count on Westbrook to pick up the pieces like you once thought you could. And then you got guys who were being productive, like Lonnie Walker. He was hurt. So I think it's more injuries than it is chemistry.
Yeah, injury. And Austin Reeves is out. He's a hustle player. You know, it's a lot that goes into a victory, man.
Yeah. So but I see
and
LeBron.
They got robbed last night.
They did get robbed last night. It was a clear foul. The reaction for LeBron was hilarious, but it was warranted because they got hacked.
But you know what it was though? They had just called the call down on the other end that wasn't even really a foul.
This is my thing about this though.
And LeBron come down, he's laying it up with the left. You see him slap his whole arm and stop the layup from going in.
This is my thing.
And you don't call a foul.
This is my thing about that. LeBron has been in this league 20 years. He knows, unless it's obvious. And I think that's why he flipped out. Unless it's obvious, you're not getting those calls.
It was obvious.
It was obvious. I get that. I'm just saying, like, the reaction was warranted, but I'm just like, come on, LeBron. You know you ain't getting that.
They expect LeBron to play through that stuff.
They do. They expect LeBron to play through
else,
it.
Though.
Hold on. They expect LeBron to play through it. It was in Boston. It was in Boston, and it was like what? It was the last second of the game. I'll take away him playing through it. The whole Boston, and it was the last play of the game. Those 2 things were stuck out to me. I was like, LeBron, you're not getting that call.
It don't matter if it's the last play of the game. A call is a call, man.
No, you don't get that call.
A call is a call. A foul is a foul.
A foul is a foul. You don't get those calls.
He don't foul them. That's a layup. Everybody know that.
Unless Jason Tatum would have grabbed him out of the air and pushed him down to the ground, and you ain't getting that call. It has to be obvious. It has to be obvious.
It was obvious. I don't know how much more obvious it's gonna be.
It wasn't. Okay.
He didn't touch the ball. All he touched was arm.
I've seen it from a whole bunch of angles because they've been talking about this for the last 24 hours. They've been talking about it crazy. When he slapped him on the arm, the view that from, I think it was the baseline view, looking up, you couldn't see it. And so if a ref is looking at like the backboard, I'm trying to see what ref, like the corner, the corner ref didn't see it. So it had to be the corner like mid court would have had to call that. And so I think he was too far to call it.
But they do it all the time.
It's a bad angle. It's a bad angle. And LeBron didn't act it out.
But that type of stuff is a killer to a team because they needed that win. Beating Boston would have lifted a lot of guys' spirits to get them to play the next few games. And by them, that call not being called, that was a game changer.
I'll give you that.
That was a game changer. Especially when Brown just got the same call down there off a knick-knack.
Well, I seen that play too, and I was like, ooh.
He didn't even touch him. He just looked like he hit his head, but he didn't.
I said, ooh.
It looked like he hit his head, but he didn't. But he got that call, but LeBron James don't get that call.
I was laughing because when they interviewed Tatum, and he was just like, I don't know what I didn't see it. Or he said I didn't see. He said something like that. It was one of those things like he was like it was one of those things where he was like, I didn't foul him. Ref didn't call it, so I didn't foul him. But he walked away laughing. He was like, "Ooh, got away with one right there. Got away with run right there." So but that was funny.
That's the killer part because it's players like him, LeBron, and Giannis and Embiid. They get hacked a lot more than the average player do, and have to play through it. And people wonder why they complain as much as they do.
Even Luka.
Luka he's a crybaby.
There we go.
He ain't got no stripes yet. He ain't got no stripes, bro. He only 3 years in.
There we go.
He ain't earned his stripes. He ain't supposed to get them calls yet.
Hold on, Jason Tatum supposed to get them calls?
This is Tatum what? 6th year?
No, this is his 4th, 5th
No.
year? 4th or 5th.
It's like 6.
Is it?
I think he's in year 6 right now because he just got paid.
It might be. I mean, it might be. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is these sometimes you don't get them calls, man. I thought his reaction was hilarious, but sometimes you don't get those calls. It is what it is. But speaking of the Lakers,
Yep, this is his 6th season.
This is 6th season?
Yep.
No, you don't get them calls.
What?
He ain't did nothing.
Year 5, you start getting calls.
Year 5?
Yeah, year 5.
I'll give you that.
Year 5, you start getting some calls.
I give you that.
Year 8, you getting the calls.
Yeah, year 8, you get those.
You get all those.
You know the referee name. You've seen him out and about.
Hey, Tommy, come on, man.
What's
I can't
up?
get that call.
I'll give you that. Year 8, you get those. Year 10. So, I mean, come on, man. You can't. You know what's funny about this? LeBron, you know as well as anybody. LeBron knows as well as anybody. And this is why a lot of times LeBron passes on these attempts because he's not gonna get the call. So I'm gonna kick it out and woo such and such. But with the Lakers, he has no choice. He can't kick it out. He has to go for the.
Oh, you giving LeBron some credit?
He has to go for the gusto.
Oh my God. I gotta mark this day down.
First of all,
the SpongeBob.
I always give LeBron credit.
No,
for
never.
If he's
But people do wonder why he passed the ball as much as he did in his career because a lot of the calls he don't get.
He's not getting no calls. I give him that.
Giannis the same way. They don't get calls.
Giannis would have powered through and yammed it. Giannis would have powered through and yammed it.
LeBron was going full speed.
He was going for the layup regardless.
Giannis do the same thing all the time.
He'd have yammed
and get fouled and they don't call it.
He'd have yammed it. He'd have yammed it though.
They expect him to make it. Either way it go, whether you get fouled or not.
That's true. But speaking of the Lakers, they made a move recently. Actually a pretty good move in the trade department. They traded
Kendrick Nunn.
who they trade for?
Rube Hachimari.
That's what it is. Hoochie Mama.
Rue Hachimari.
Rue Hoochie Mama. So Rue Hoochie Mama from the Washington Wizards got traded.
Hachimari.
Is it?
Hachimari.
It's Hachimari?
Yeah. You talking about Hoochie Mama.
She said Hoochie Mama. I'm going with Hoochie Mama.
Hoochie Mama.
But he got traded from Washington Wizards and the Lakers gave up Kendrick Dunn and like a 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick.
Three 2nd round picks.
3 2nd round picks. Yes.
2 of them come from different teams.
And they didn't say what year particularly. They just said future picks.
The one of theirs, so basically they gave away, I think it was Philly, and I think it was New Orleans.
In Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia was picks that they owned. Okay. So they gave those picks away to them and one of they picks for 2029, 2nd round pick.
No.
Yeah.
They holding on to those.
2029, 2nd round?
Oh, 2nd round?
It's 2nd round. All the picks are 2nd round. None of them were 1st round.
Okay. I read like future picks. I ain't really get into the details. But what you think? What do you thought about this move?
I think it was smart.
I think it was a really good move.
I think it was a smart move. You got rid of a guard that wasn't getting a lot of minutes that deserves some minutes. Nunn is not a scrub.
Nunn is not a scrub, but
he just wasn't he just didn't fit their culture in LA.
My thing is this. they got this was a good trade because, and I see Dunn getting released eventually, but Dunn
No, none.
was getting nothing. Dunn was getting nothing done.
Kendrick Nunn.
I know his name, but Dunn was getting nothing done.
He wasn't because he
So-
wasn't. But you got to remember, you got to play enough
He a
to get
poppin',
something. And he was only getting a couple minutes here and there. You got to think he's sharing minutes with Beverly, Westbrook, and Schroeder.
mm-hmm,
All are defensive guards.
mm-hmm.
It's hard to get minutes over defensive guards. And you got Lonnie Walker, and you got Austin Reeves.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It's a lot of players that come up before his name do because he was hurt. If
Mhm.
he'd have came in not hurt, they wouldn't have went after Schroeder. They wouldn't have
That's
went
true.
after Beverly.
That's true.
But he was hurt the whole first year last year.
Mm.
So guess what? They have to go after them guards because they playing right now.
Okay.
And they've been playing. So you can't knock them out the rotation.
You're right. I mean, everything you're saying is right. I think this is I looked at it as they got rid of somebody that they weren't using.
Yeah.
They also they gave us some draft picks. And then they got the person they got back. He hasn't been like doing the things that Washington thought he was gonna do, but he has when he has been playing, it's been like 10, 12 a game, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that somebody with some range and who can get he can be a 3-and-D guy over time. I think over time he'll turn into a 3-and-D guy, but he's a liability right now on the defensive end. So I don't see him getting a ton of time from Ham, but eventually I think for offensive purposes, it was a good pick. I honestly see him as a low budget Kyle Kuzma.
See, I think the problem over there is
And Washington,
in his position, they're strong. So he didn't have a chance to get a lot of
you
minutes.
talking about Washington?
Yeah, and to develop. So you had to ship him out because Porzingis has been healthy for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kuz.
That's what I'm saying. He's a low rent Kuz.
He's a what?
A low rent Kuz.
A low budget Kuz.
A low budget Kuzma. So I don't see him. That's what I'm saying. Like if he can hit the three, he can hit the jumper, he can hit the mid, he can hit the three, he can hit the mid range. I don't see him being a big. He's kind of a defensive liability a little bit, but he got size, so I don't see him really like doing like crazy numbers. I don't see his averages going up being with the Lakers.
I don't see him going up, but I see him figuring out who he's going to define himself as an NBA player.
I can see
Because
that.
he didn't define himself as an NBA player yet, and that's what I think he can do by being around some good players like Davis and LeBron and some of the other players. You know what I mean? Watching their work ethics, how they got to where they are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Watching how their day-to-day operations are, so that he can pick up some good traits. Because what's going on in Washington? Think about it. Tell me one good thing that's going on in Washington. Because you know Cool's out there for himself. Bradley's out there for himself.
Well, first of all,
I'm not saying that they're selfish, but I'm just saying like
they don't have them. They're not playing for nothing.
They're not playing for nothing. They're just playing. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. They're but the same thing about what's the thing?
He's young.
Porzingis. He's there, but I think he's auditioning for other teams.
Yeah, they basically audition what they can do themselves to get on another team eventually. All three of them.
Exactly.
I don't think neither one of those three will be there in the next year or two.
Well, Bradley gonna be he signed an extension, so he's gonna be there for a while.
He's gone.
But what?
Wait, he just waiting on the trade offer.
No, he gone. He gonna be there for a while.
Listen,
don't nobody want Bradley.
Hachimura is going to find a good role in LA because he's only 24 years old.
It's true.
He still got a couple years to develop into who he's gonna be and figure out his role.
I mean, I agree with you
because he got size, he got the body frame to play the smaller guards and play bigs. So it's all about working on his craft.
A low budget Kyle Kuzma.
No, he can be better than Kuz. Kuz ain't all that. Because if he was all that, he wouldn't still be in LA.
Kuz is solid.
Think about it. If he was all that, he'd still be in LA.
No, that's not why he done that.
Man, Kuz can't guard nobody gym shorts. Offensively, he's talented. Very talented. Defensively, he couldn't guard one of the cheerleaders if he had to.
I still like him. I still like Kyle Kuzma.
I like Kuz.
Like low key, I want him to be a Buck, but I know that's not gonna happen. But I think it was a good pickup for LA. That's probably one of their best pickups, for, if anything.
For LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're one move away from being in playoff contention. They need one more powerful move.
Who?
LA.
You think so?
They one move away.
They need a guard. They need a guard.
They need a shooter. They need a shooter. That's the only
I'm
thing.
saying they need a guard like Westbrook.
No.
They've been tap dancing around Westbrook for I don't know how long.
I'm not talking about a Westbrook. I'm not talking about
any
type of guard like that. I'm not talking about that type of guard. They need a two guard, somebody who comes off screens and allows lanes to be open. You know what I mean?
Really?
They don't have a player that comes off screens. You know what I'm saying? Think about that playoff run with Ray Allen. Ray Allen opened up so much for D Wade and LeBron to create lanes because he chases, he come off screens. So it's so hard. You got to pick, like, am I going to chase Ray? Ray might hit this, or I'm going to let this lane go and see if our shot blocker can block James and Wade.
So here's the thing. I agree with you. But here's the problem. They holding on to these picks. And for them to get the kind of person you're talking about, they're going to have to give up the picks.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but they don't want to do what they have to do to get that person. Because they could have had that person like a Bradley Beal or somebody even close to that. You
don't even gotta have a top-notch superstar. You can have a Grayson.
Let's not get crazy.
A shooter like Grayson
Allen.
He's a 40% career shooter.
Yeah, I know.
From three. He can come off screens. And you can't
sure.
leave him open.
I could, but that's neither here. It just depends. It depends.
Depends on what?
I would say, I'll look at this. If I was the Bucks, I don't want no picks. I want some players. So just for, argument's sake, let's say, like, hey, we want Grayson. Who on the Los Angeles Lakers roster do you want coming to Milwaukee?
Right now.
That can help right now. Because Grayson, as much as he isn't liked, I'm going to get into that in a second, but as much as he isn't liked by the audience, well, let me pause it right here. I just want to pause real quick. I didn't know people didn't really like Grayson like that. I literally heard people booing him. But
every arena he go to, he's booed.
No. In the Pfizer Forum,
they were booing him.
Some people was booing him. Like, it was more than one. It wasn't just one boo. No, it was a couple people. Like, a group had to turn around. Like, you niggas booing Grayson? God,
they must have been some other team fans.
No, Milwaukee Bucks fans. But so, and plus, all over Twitter, people just like, hey, get rid of Grayson. Get rid of Grayson. Get rid of Grayson. But who would you on the Los Angeles Lakers roster be like, okay, that guy can fill the gap of Bryson?
Of
Grayson.
On the Lakers roster
on the Lakers roster right now. I have one person off the top of my head, maybe two.
That can help the Bucks.
I would have to go.
I would say either Schroeder.
I wasn't even going to think of Schroeder, but okay, I like that.
Or Troy Brown Jr.
Troy Brown Jr., really?
Yeah.
I was saying, I didn't think about, until you said I didn't think about Schroeder. Give me Schroeder. It would have to be 2 for 1. Give me Schroeder and give me Lonnie Walker.
No, that's too much. For Grayson?
Yes.
That's too much.
No, because Grayson, like you said, Grayson can come off the pick. Grayson can get to the basket. Grayson can shoot.
Lonnie can too, and he's a high flyer. And he can shoot.
Exactly.
But just think of this with the Lakers. You put Lonnie and Grayson in at the same time. And you can play that rotation. Because Lonnie guards. Grayson guards.
He does.
But they both can shoot the three.
Grayson can guard, but he's a little short. he is he's short and his physicality ain't there. So he can get physical, but he gonna foul you. So you already got Patrick Beverly for that. So it's one of them things where like
if I'm the Bucks, I say, to be honest with you, this is what I'm gonna say. I'll give you Grayson. Give me Gabriel.
who?
Wayne Gabriel.
All right, now you talking nonsense.
He's young.
Gabriel.
He has energy, and he hustles. That's what you need. He's a
It's a lot of low. I
just think that's the only position that we slacking in is a backup power forward. Because now that Bobby out, we're struggling. He hustles and he'll try to block some shots.
But we talking about guards here, though.
The Bucks don't need no guards. We're guard heavy.
We untalented guard heavy. Talking
No,
about
we're
budgets.
Javon Carter's playing good ball right now. He's hitting shots.
He's solid on the defensive end. Once in a blue moon, he'll have an offensive.
He's hitting shots now consistently.
What?
Chris is back. You seen him 17 the other night. Don't knock him.
Until he get 30. Until he gotta get 30.
He coasted, man. That's
he
all
gotta get
doing.
30.
He coasted to the playoffs.
I don't need you to coach to a place how you get hurt. But speaking of the Bucks have also been in like a lot of trade talks lately, and they have been not only in a lot of trade talks, but a lot. It's been, I'll say this: the Bucks have been linked to three people ahead of the draft. I mean, ahead of the trading deadline. Crowder, Jay Crowder, Eric Gordon, and Reddish from the Knicks. Which one of these three?
I'm not going after Reddish because I don't think
I like Reddish.
I like Reddish as a player, but I don't think he fits our culture.
I'll give
in
you
Milwaukee.
That. I'll give you that. We don't really I don't know why, but young guys don't. We're not a young
market.
We're not a young market, and if you young on the Bucks, you're not gonna get no clock. But continue. Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon is a little too old for my likings. If I'm the Bucks, even though he got an expiring contract, I would take that gamble on Gordon.
I
didn't Reddish.
So the thing about the Gordon thing is we was ready to give up the farm for Gordon. We was ready to give up the farm. I don't know if his productivity would, because he'll be good for this year, maybe next year, and that's it. Jay Crowder, I think, is probably still our best.
That's our best option.
This is our best option, just based on the fact that
he's a 3-and-D.
He's a 3-and-D. He can go guard. He can go forward. Even a little bit of center.
He played power. He guarded a lot of power forwards.
That's what I'm saying. Power forward, center. I mean, not forward, guard. He can go a tad bit center for 2 minutes. It depends on the center, but he's our best bet. And the thing about it is, if Phoenix didn't want everything but a child of God for him, then I wouldn't be tripping.
What are they looking for from him?
They looking for, like, Phoenix is looking for like 2 first-round picks and a player. A first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a player, a solid player, like a guy who can contribute right now. And I'm like, ooh. And
that means you would have to give up somebody like Grayson.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I want Grayson for somebody who ain't played all year. And that's the thing about him. Like, that's the thing about them, is that he ain't played all year. Now, if he was that's a little bit on him. That's a little bit on Phoenix. But still, it's one of them things where if they wanted less for him, they'd be like, go get him, hurry up. But he ain't played all year, and they want everything for him like he didn't play all year. So, I'm not the biggest fan of that.
But you need a third team. From what I'm hearing is you need a third team in order for it to work.
I hear about that too.
So if you them, who do you bring in with this? to make this deal go through.
Are you talking about who did the Bucks bring in?
Yeah.
Honest with you, George Hill. George Hill. Jordan Newall, what is that name?
Jordan
Nora, him, George Hill, and a couple first round picks. Two. No, I'm sorry, 2 second round picks.
But you need a third team.
The third
There's
team.
not enough money in that.
Third team. Well, the original was Jay Crowder. We would get Jay Crowder because it's with Houston. We would get Jay Crowder. Houston, we would get Jay Crowder. Houston would send Eric Gordon to Phoenix, and then like some exchange of draft picks or something like that. That was the original deal. It fell apart for some reason or whatever. I think it was because of Phoenix, or it might have been because of the Bucks. And I think a lot of times, well, to me, I'll say this: I never was a big fan of draft picks, especially in Milwaukee, just because we don't use them like that. And we are in the business of winning now. Now we one of those teams that we have to win now. We don't have time for the future. Like if you're not going to help us win within the next year and a half or the next 2 years, then I don't want to hear what you're talking about. I really don't. A possible trade is, let me know what you think about this. Grayson Allen, George Hill, Jordan Newalla, what is his name?
Jordan
Wara, and a 2029 first round pick for Gary Trenton Jr.
Too much. I'll give you Grayson and George Hill for Gary Trent Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving up Wara too. Because he can be, you don't know, because he's still young.
Well, he's young, but he's a chucker. He's a chucker.
I'm almost willing to take that gamble with him for another year.
What?
For another year or two?
Just my thing. Grayson's not a chucker.
Because I think he got somebody now who's going to have to that's going to push him to have to get better.
Oh. If we pick
The
up
Rook.
Oh, the Rook. I don't know what's up with the Rook. I ain't gonna hold you because
he's doing exactly what the Bucks wanted him to do.
What?
He's getting minutes here and there, but he's not going to play a lot. He's a rookie. You just let him get his feet wet. When playoff time, he ain't gonna touch the floor. We already know that.
That's true.
He might get 2 minutes if the Bucks blowing out. That's about it.
And that's my thing. Like okay, let me ask you a question real quick. What do you think of the rookie? A to B, A to F, A being the highest. F, what grade would you give him so far in the season?
A C plus.
Okay, I'm sitting there too. But I think we're saying C plus because we haven't seen enough of him, which goes into Bud not giving him enough minutes.
But you can't give him a lot of minutes because we are a title contending team.
We are.
We're not no scrub team. If you in Washington, if you in Houston,
mm-hmm.
you can throw him in 28, 29 minutes a night. Easily. And let him figure it out. But Giannis ain't going to be tolerating all of that, them errors he going to do. That's why you giving him game here, a game there. Mm-hmm. Let him get his feet wet. You know what I mean?
Do you see him in the Bucks' future?
Yes. 3 years from now, he'll be good.
Okay. I'll take
2 to 3 years from now, he'll be good.
I'll take that.
And you'll be like, oh, I'm glad they kept him.
I'll give you
But if Wara doesn't get better, he's going to take his spot.
If who doesn't? Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So by him coming in and having the work ethic that he got so far,
mm-hmm.
it's got to push Wara to get better. That's what I'm thinking the Bucks is hoping.
And I will say this about this guy. He's humble. He's very humble. He gives me Giannis vibes when he first started.
Yeah.
Very humble, willing to work and stuff like that. Now, it's not getting him a lot of minutes. But I will say this. So he'll have like 20 minutes and then he won't play the next game. Or he'll have like 2 minutes.
Just get it.
I just feel like sometimes, like you said, this is not a destination for rookies. If you're a highly recruited rookie or a highly talked about rookie, Milwaukee is not the place for you. It's just not. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
He's right where he need to be. He's getting minutes every other game, every 3 games. That's what he's supposed to do as a rookie. Unless you coming in and you're forced like LeBron. Or a Zion, where you can come in and start, but you can't.
That's true.
And you got to think of who he playing behind. What you gonna do? Start him over Chris?
Well, this,
What you gonna start him over Drew?
no.
Come on, man.
Drew,
Them minutes is gone already.
yeah. I mean, you're right. I'll give you that.
You got to think about.
I just want
you
him
gotta
to
think
get a
about-
little bit
You
more.
gotta think about the Bucks roster and how the way the Bucks roster is. He has no choice but to get better. You got one of the best defensive guards in the league in Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You got one of the best closers in Chris Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
And you got one of the best superstars in the whole league in Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
What 3 more examples do you want him to follow? If he don't get better, it's on him.
That's true.
Think about it.
That's true. I mean, I agree with you.
Because Giannis is one of the most humble players you're going to meet.
He is.
Chris Middleton is a humble player. And Drew is a humble player.
That's
Everybody
true.
know Drew humble.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to have that be a Bucks player. It's damn near in your contract.
The Bucks going to look good in 3 years.
I
Still.
hope so. I hope so.
I know, man.
But
I don't have to waste no season tickets, man.
who you telling? But at least they'll go down. But we're gonna get into some All-Star talk. But first, I want to play a video real quick.
Put 1-on-1 in the All-Star game, like in All-Star weekend.
if the guys will compete, because again,
That's the same question,
it's the
right?
same. It's the same question because I'll put myself in it, right? I can be statistically one of the best one-on-one players in the league years running, right? But the casual fan don't want to see Spencer Dinwiddie play one-on-one. Like, hey, I'm a very realistic dude. It is what it is. They want to see Bron play Giannis.
Yeah.
Luka
KD.
play KD. Jokic play Embiid. Like, and if they're not going to commit to it, you ain't got nothing.
Do you think guys in the league would be like, I want the title of best one-on-one guy?
Hell no. You want to know why? Because if you lose a dunk contest, I didn't have my legs. You lose a three-point contest, I got a little nervous. You lose one-on-one, I'm better than you.
Right.
I'm better than you.
Smoking that pack.
I'm better than you.
So, this video has a couple of things that I wanted to address.
Spit it out.
First, do you like the idea of one-on-ones at the All-Star game?
No.
Ooh, why not?
I just don't see a point in it. Like,
What do you mean?
What do you gain out of it?
I think you gain a little bit of bragging rights.
Because you
All-Star, hold on real quick. An All-Star game, man, my teammate didn't have it. Man, he was off, and he ain't passed me the ball, so that's why we lost. You can have those. You gotta have plenty of excuses. I'm talking plenty of excuses. When it's just you and when it's just one-on-one, you have no excuse, none. You can come up with some, but ain't nobody trying to hear that. And I'm talking about you talking about embarrassing some people. You talking about embarrassing some people, and them not having let's say, because he gave examples. He gave an example of Joel Embiid and Joker. He gave that example. That was one of the examples he gave. And they just played Sunday. So Joker can blame their loss on, such and such didn't have it. And this, I hate a couple guys that didn't hit the shot. It's really not my fault we lost. But if it's one-on-one, hey, I beat you. You can talk all the trash you want for the rest of the year. Rest of the year, you can talk all the trash you want.
But you got to think of it like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to guard one-on-one.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is hard to talk going one-on-one.
What are you gonna do with a KD going one-on-one with you?
Better
What
do
does Luka?
something.
Luka doesn't stand a chance. One-on-one with KD.
That was another one he brought up. Here's the thing about that. As much as Luka is a defensive liability, and by the way, again, he has no one else to blame but him. You got to do something. You better do something.
I don't think it's. I think it's pointless.
You think it's pointless?
I think it would be pointless.
Okay.
One-on-one.
Yeah. You think it's pointless?
I'm gonna risk getting hurt because you know how one-on-ones get.
They do. It get
They
physical.
get feisty
It get feisty, get physical real quick.
real quick.
They already do this with high school guys. They be having like one-on-one tournaments and stuff like
But that's
that.
something you do.
I
That's
think
something you
it's
do.
like-
That's something you do off the court.
You know what I'm saying? Like they be.
You want to talk?
I forgot how
you
they
want,
do
you,
it.
You
but
want to
yeah.
talk smack to LeBron? Be like, I'll play you this summer. Me and you.
Well,
You pick the gym.
Okay, don't nobody see that.
No
though.
cameras. Then nobody needs to see it. That's
Oh,
what one-on-ones always
If
came
I
down.
beat LeBron 1-on-1, everybody gonna see this.
No,
Everybody need to see this.
no, because you can't.
Okay.
Because if LeBron beats you,
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, then
if KD beats you,
you gotta take that L.
if the Joker beats you and you can beat, you'll never live it up.
Now here's the thing. This is my thing about this. I'm all
You might
about.
not even get a contract extension.
We've seen the All-Star weekend. I don't think we're gonna sign you. Okay. Well, okay. You said no to that. So, do you think guys will compete? Like actual people we want to see? Because like LeBron James has avoided the dunk contest his entire career. He's pretty much avoided All-Star weekend. He's avoided all the competitions. But you got guys like Steph who's have participated. Do you think guys will actually participate in this and give a good go for it?
But you got to remember, LeBron's been an All-Star since his second year in the league.
I don't understand that.
That's
Probably was his
19
first year.
straight years.
I'm surprised it won his first year, but do you think he would participate
In what?
1-on-1?
No, he wouldn't do it.
Do you think anybody would participate in 1-on-1s?
The only person I think that probably would is Giannis.
What? I don't know if he would.
Giannis would be fair game.
He would.
You want the smoke? Come on.
I think a lot of these young guys would. Morant.
Those are the ones who are going to want to do it.
That's
like
what I'm saying,
Ja.
Ja.
Ain't none of the older players are going to do it. Steph ain't going to want to do it.
You don't think so? I would
LeBron
love
ain't
to
going to
see
want
it.
to do it.
I would
Joker
love
ain't going to want to do it. Kyrie ain't going to want to do it.
I think Kyrie would do it.
KD ain't going to want to do it.
I think Kyrie and KD would. Because
Tatum ain't going to want to do it. Them type of players ain't going to want to do it. It's going to be the young players like you said, the Jaws, Donovan Mitchells.
oh yeah.
Them the ones that are going to want to do that.
I think Joel Embiid would do it.
And B, I'm like, man, no. I'm too far along in my career to get hurt. Playing 1-on-1.
Anthony Davis? Luka? What does that mean?
That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get blue on and get hurt.
I think I still like to see that. That would be something else I would like to see. And then who do you think? This is something you got to think about. Who do you think is probably one of the best 1-on-1 players in the league?
1-on-1?
1-on-1. Like, oh, he's butter 1-on-1. Like, I think. No, I'll say this because I'm a broad.
There's a lot of 1-on-1 players.
No, I'm a broadness all time. I think I have two guys. I think 1-on-1 all time they can't be touched.
Are you saying?
I'm saying all time, like 1-on-1, he's dangerous. Like he's one of those guys. We're like, all right, clear it. Hey, clear it. I got it.
I'm only going to say Jordan and LeBron.
Really?
Iverson and Reggie Miller.
No.
He said our producer said Iverson. I say Iverson and Carmelo Anthony.
We talking about 1-on? Hold on.
I'm talking 1-on-1.
The reason why I gotta say Reggie is because the minute Reggie gets the ball, you may not like if it's check ball, he gonna check and shoot, and he has a greater chance of hitting off the check.
See, this is the thing.
As a New York Knicks fan,
That's funny.
I have seen it happen.
It only happens in New York too.
Listen.
But I feel like
1-on-1. You're saying
1-on-1.
like
I'm
at the
saying
top of the key.
check up. What you gonna do now? For me, Reggie, probably first three he gonna hit. That fourth one he gonna miss. And then after that, you got to run the tables with him, but because once he get the ball back and because his competitive juices get to going.
I'm gonna say at the top of the key, I gotta go with LeBron or KD.
I think you're not wrong. I think to me, honestly,
all time. I don't think it's a person that can stand in front of LeBron 1-on-1.
Really?
I don't think it's a person that can guard KD 1-on-1 from the top.
Physically, no, but
because
I think
he can take a foul and score still.
That's true, but I think.
But also at the same time, he's quick enough to get right past you.
See, he used to be.
But you didn't say they had to be at a certain age.
Okay.
You said all time.
I said all time.
Because if you talking about the Carmelo right now, I wouldn't take him.
Okay, when are you
talking about the Allen Iverson right now?
What year? What year are you talking about LeBron?
I'm talking about Heat LeBron.
I get that.
First year Heat LeBron.
First year?
Second year Heat.
Second year?
Second
Second
year,
year.
Heat LeBron.
First of all, second year LeBron is excuse my language, but is damn near unfair. Okay, because 99 across the board.
You didn't say
I didn't. It was 99 across the
You
board.
said what year? And
But
you picked the best year.
I would say this. You know what? I'll take that. But I'll take. I don't know what year this is. Was 2023, 2020, 2021. Giannis. I think he.
NBA championship, Giannis?
Yeah, I'll take championship Giannis. I'll take that. Championship Giannis.
I'll
Giannis
say
is long and he's youthful. Them knees ain't as bad.
But he can't shoot.
He can't shoot.
So somebody with a little bit of quickness like LeBron that can stay in front of him and take the contact can make it difficult.
Well, then
LeBron can hit from the logo if he has
okay,
to.
fine. Let's forget Giannis.
We're not saying Giannis will win, but that'd be a good game.
That'd be
It'll
good
be a
game.
good game, but I'm just saying.
I'm
Open.
trying-
Okay.
New York Knick. This is he ain't no D. New York Knick, and you know what I'm finna say. New York Knick, Carmelo Anthony.
No.
He didn't have no D. bro.
Ain't no
Like,
D.
okay,
No.
So this is the thing. If you put New York Knicks Carmelo Anthony up against Indiana Reggie Miller, if Reggie get the first three off,
Mm-hmm.
Melo could have a chance to win because he gonna constantly keep going to the paint. The minute Reggie stops Melo, game is done. Keep it a buck.
That's true.
Okay.
But I just feel like with the body though, because you're right, Melo gonna take him to that paint and he gonna punish him. Then he gonna start shooting over him. So you saying, but you saying second year LeBron James, best
Second
one-on-one
Miami
year.
year. Second year
Miami.
LeBron.
LeBron James, best one-on-one player.
Best one-on-one player you can get.
Wow, that's a good one.
Think about it.
That was good.
Think about
I guess a good
that
one.
first year, he struggled trying to figure out who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Year two,
He had it. He knew it.
he had it.
I want to say, I'm trying to think.
Or year three in Miami. Because
No,
you know
not
they
year
won it
three.
back to back.
They did win it back to back, but it wasn't year two. He
You
was
know
on
what?
a mission.
I'll tell you this. I'll even take championship number one, Dwayne Wade.
He couldn't shoot.
Go back and look.
He couldn't shoot like
Go
that.
back and look. I
know. He
just
couldn't-
watched them highlights.
He couldn't shoot.
The
like
show
that.
he put on, go back and look.
Yeah, but he couldn't shoot like that.
Yeah, he could.
Not
Go
like
look.
that.
And he had the banker down pack too.
He,
Off the dribble.
yeah, off the dribble. But I'm talking about like
He had the left hand floater. He had the right hand floater. He was putting it on top of your head. And he had the step back where he brought it backwards
yeah.
and pulled up in your mouth from mid range.
Okay, man. Well,
That was better than he was. If Dwayne Wade, I'll tell you this: if Dwayne Wade problem was his knees was too bad
yeah.
before he realized they had got too bad before he realized how much he needed to take care of his body, like LeBron did.
I'll give you that.
And if he would have took care of his body like LeBron did from day one when he came in the league,
Mm-hmm.
he'd still be playing right now and still be on top of his game.
Ooh.
I can guarantee it. He only
Oh,
been
if
out the year. He only been out the league 2 years.
Are you saying if he took care of his body like LeBron
If
did?
he took care of his body like LeBron did, coming in the league like LeBron did,
Mhm.
LeBron spent $1 million every year on his body from year 2 on.
Well, I think after he won that third championship in Miami,
No, he was still doing. He was. I'm
his
talking.
second stick in Cleveland.
No,
I
in
think.
Cleveland, his second year in Cleveland is when he started spending money on his body.
I can see that.
Dwayne Wade was partying in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Gold chains, no shirt, kicking it.
Yeah, just won a championship. I don't know. That'd be interesting though.
Let me ask you a question though,
I'm listening.
because I see this interview all the time. I mean, not this interview, but I see this comment all the time from Paul Pierce
Well,
saying he had a better career than Dwayne Wade.
let's not even.
I just want to know your. I don't think I ever asked you that.
I don't think you've ever asked me. I
Just out of curiosity.
I know. I don't. I think the thing about Paul Pierce is, to me, he is one of these guys who possibly could have had a better career than D Wade, but he didn't. I don't think he did, but he could have.
How?
If he, I am starting to really enjoy winners.
Yeah.
So Paul Pierce was a winner. He was one of these guys who like he's a Boston great and he's a winner. D Wade was, I don't want to say a winner by association, but you know, without Shaq, without LeBron,
He had Cybertwan.
who he had who?
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, and
He
what,
had the real deal Cybertwan.
yeah.
Too.
And what did he do with him?
Nothing
Exactly.
until he picked up Ray Allen and KG.
Yeah, but
So then you said Dwayne Wade didn't get one until he had Shaq. He had Shaq on his way out the league.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Shaq didn't get him over the hump.
Shaq
got-
didn't get him over the
no,
hump.
he got Shaq over the hump.
He got Shaq over the hump because Shaq wasn't going out the league.
KG got Paul Pierce over the hump.
I mean, to answer your question, of course he didn't. D Wade had a way better career.
Way better.
I don't think Paul Pierce. We kind of underestimate Paul Pierce just because of his style of play, but
Nobody take anything from Paul Pierce.
he
Paul
just because he wasn't as athletic as a D Wade or as a LeBron James, and you know his game was kind of slow motion.
Paul Pierce got to recognize real. That's what he got to remember.
That too.
And because his ego is up there. Because every time I turn around, he hating on LeBron, or he's saying he got a better career than Dwayne Wade.
Well, you know why he ain't no LeBron. He's not gonna give LeBron nothing. This is not gonna happen.
But he was shaking up with him after the game.
Well, you have to give Paul Pierce a pass because he grew up in the league where he had to play against people like Larry Johnson and Charles Oakley, who probably beat him down repeatedly.
And we're willing to step outside.
Right.
So I give you that.
Hey, listen, I've been watching the Knucklehead podcast.
Yeah, I be watching.
Everybody that get on there say, man, you don't want to play in our era. They had Oak and Mason.
Because they was going to undercut him.
They said Oak and Mason were two players you didn't want to go against.
Jesus Christ.
How you got two players in the league that's bullying the whole league?
Because they didn't willing to step outside.
Oak probably still step outside right now.
He definitely step outside. I don't care
I
who
seen
you
him
is
do
and
an
how
interview.
rich you is.
Man, these young guys don't know nothing.
Before we get up out of here, the All-Star starters have been selected. And they are LeBron James and Giannis are the captains. And they have the pick from Luka Doncic, Curry, Zion, James. I'm sorry, and Joker. Not James, but Joker. On the East, you got Kyrie, Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant might not play, but the big question is, as it is every year, who got snubbed? Charles Barkley said something very interesting.
Nobody honestly got snubbed.
Some people got snubbed.
Who do you think got snubbed?
I think if you're gonna have what's his name? If you're gonna have Kyrie in here and Donovan Mitchell, you gotta have Jaylen Brown.
Remember,
The fans do pick these people, and they get it wrong almost every year.
That's why you don't let
You can't.
pick.
No, I think I was really thinking about this. I think the fans do this. Not I say to do this. I think the NBA does this on purpose because the NFL, the fans pick, but they have 1/3 of the vote. So, but like I said before, the controversy every year is who got snubbed, which is what clickbait conversation, us talking about the All-Star starters. If it wasn't, it's never. That's what I'm saying. It's never a controversy in the NFL. It's never a controversy in the MLB. It's never a controversy. It's only in the NBA, and it's because fans pick it. To me, when Charles Barkley brought up, if you miss 20 games before the All-Star game, you should not have. You shouldn't be in. You shouldn't qualify. And I was thinking about that. I was like, it should be 100% true because Zion has missed a significant amount. So why should he have the privilege of being in the All-Star game?
We're talking about an 82-game season. They play about 40 by the time the All-Star game.
about 40 something, probably 40 over 40.
You missed
Half this year.
Technically half the first half.
Exactly. So why should you be eligible for All-Star game?
Who?
Zion.
Yeah.
He missed like 20 some games. He missed like half the season already. So why should you be eligible for and get the privilege of being in the All-Star game?
He's a highlight reel.
Is he though?
The All-Star game.
And that's what the All-Star game is really based
It is.
off of.
It is, but he might not even play. First of all, he might not even play. If he do play, it's gonna be real Lexa Derby. Kevin Durant might not play, but he's hurt. How that go? But
So who is your biggest two snubs then?
to me,
One in the East and the one in the West.
I think in the West. Oh, I can't even think of his name. The guy from Utah. Him
Lauri
or
Marketing?
Yeah, him or Sabonis. I think one of those guys. Utah's hosting it this year.
So he'll get a reserve spot.
Yeah, he'll probably get it.
I think he
So,
should have been.
so he's not a snub. I'm talking about starter. He's not. He's not.
I'm saying he should have been a starter.
No.
He's gonna get. He's
Name
gonna
one. Name one person he should have been starting over.
Who, Zion?
No. Lauri Marketing.
I'm saying Zion.
No.
I don't think he should start over. I think he should get the spot, and somebody who's on the reserve now should be the starter.
If Zion got reserve, I wouldn't be tripping. But for a starter, he shouldn't even get started.
But I get what you're saying. Like, Zion shouldn't be there, period. He shouldn't have been an option.
Yeah.
But because the fans vote for the starters, he got in when he shouldn't have been there because the fans. I get that. But what we saying is, even though that's the case, and let's say we use the 20-game rule, he shouldn't. Utah dude shouldn't automatically get bumped to the starting spot because there are going to be other people on the bench who would get the bulk of those Zion votes. So somebody who's on the bench would eventually become a starter over him, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying.
Okay, I get
so
that.
Because Zion probably ain't gonna be able to play, he probably gonna get added to the roster to fill it up anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll probably be the person who takes Zion's spot.
Yeah.
I get that.
Zion
But
ain't
I'm
played
saying
enough-
because he's hurt though.
But it's coming.
I'm saying he hurt though.
That'll come out soon though.
But when you ask me who I think should
But when the
replace him,
fans, when you look at it as a fan, who you looking at? Lauri Marketing or you looking at Zion? Who you want to go see more?
Who's gonna put
well, of course I want to
You
see
because you watch basketball. Of course
I
you're
wanna
gonna
see
say
Zion.
you're gonna say I watched Lauri Marketing. He didn't had a great year for the first time in 3
Bucket.
seasons.
He's a bucket.
He's a bucket. He's dunking on people. He's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Bucket. Now,
But hey,
do I want to see Zion do a 360 windmill with his left hand? Of course I do.
of course you do.
Of course I do.
Who doesn't
I
want
get
to?
that. I just feel like it's just one of those things where like, hey, because I think he got in there because of the fans.
So your biggest snub was
For a starter, Lauren Marketing. Where was it?
Lauri Marketing.
Yeah, Lauren Marketing. Who is your snub? Real quick, I got one for the East too. I'll give it to Drew.
For the West,
It's Drew.
you said so that was your West.
Or know what? I'm sorry. Yeah, I give it to Drew.
My biggest snub from the West is probably I'm gonna have to say Ja.
I was very surprised about that.
Ja should have been on the starting lineup.
I agree with you 100% because I didn't understand. I was like, really? No Ja, huh? All
No
right.
Ja.
All right. I mean, this is the thing. You're not gonna pick Ja over Steph, and you're not gonna pick Ja over Luka.
I would.
I know you would, but I think that's why he's in a really bad position. If he was a forward in the front court, he would be in there. But because he a guard, he's in a tough position. So who you got for the East though? Your biggest snub?
My biggest snub in the East. It has to be people might not like this, but I like Jaylen Brown.
I could take. I'll let that.
And I think he's earned it.
You could have said a couple guys, but I'll take Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown?
I was just thinking about it. I was also thinking, what's it called? That got snubbed too, but he'll probably make the reserve.
Who?
Bronson of the Knicks. I think he's having a tremendous year. He's probably
He have an all right year.
he's in the position. They're in the position they're in because of him.
But just think of it like this: even Joel Embiid didn't get a spot.
Which is hilarious, but Joel Embiid is a troll to say the least.
He'll be a reserve for sure.
He'll be definitely a reserve, but I'm saying he's a troll to say the least. If it wasn't for, and to be honest with you, the East really ain't got no center, so I'm surprised about that. But still, I don't like him. I don't know if it's
because he needs to
the
focus.
antics. I don't know if it's the trolling.
He got to learn to focus more on basketball than trolling everybody.
I can see that,
And get off the put his Twitter fingers down.
And on
and
top
put him
of
to work
that,
on the court.
And then on top of that, he ain't really. I ain't say people disrespect Joel Embiid, but people disrespect Joel Embiid. I ain't like him. He had time for the BS. But there's been another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. First of all, I'd like to thank Tone for filling in the gap for Dre. Less antics, but
Never filled the shoes with that man.
you can try. Anyways, shout out to Dre and shout out to my boy Kesey coming in.
Appreciate y'all, good people, doing it in to us.
You can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm gonna stop saying TikTok. I'm just gonna stop it. I'm just gonna stop it.
Twitter,
Facebook, Instagram. You can always catch us there. You can always listen to this on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, and SoundCloud. 94 Feet.
94 feet. Peace.